Hello and welcome. You're watching Cricbuzz Live. Afghanistan playing Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka winning the toss and putting Afghanistan into bat. And geez, it's been quite a batting effort from them. They've got to 175 for the loss of 6 wickets on the back of a brilliant knock by Gurbaz, who got 84 of just 45 deliveries. The others, well, they started going and stopping. There's fits and starts from the others. But from Gurbaz, there was just one-way traffic for the Sri Lankan bowlers. Not a day to remember. Except, of course, for Hasaranga. You don't see him here. Didn't get any wickets, but they just couldn't get him going anywhere. Went at less than a run a ball. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Ajay Jadeja and Joy Bhattacharya. Joy, let's get you in first. Geez, Gurbaz, well, he was just in another zone today, wasn't he?
Absolutely. I think that one drop catch, or rather the catch that could have been a six that turned out, that really changed it because, had he got out, if you remember, his hand was off the bat. He had hit it with one hand and he probably knew he was going to get caught. And had the fielder just been aware, it wasn't even a particularly difficult chance. Gunatilaka was just too close to the line, but he could have easily not. He wasn't in so much momentum. But that really changed it. And I think one thing that, we all picked up on while watching the game was anything away from the stumps, and he went for it.
Yeah.
And the other big thing was dot ball percentage. Really played very, very few dot balls. You look at the innings that he's played here today, strike rate was 186, and you look down the batting lineup. The next highest batting rate is 128, which is Rashid Khan, which only tells you that basically he batted at a totally different pace. And it should tell Sri Lanka one really important thing, that you have to stay in to score runs on this pitch. It's not easy to come out and blaze no matter how good a batsman you are. And it's also important for one of your top three to do it because the ball is going to get slower and lower. So you need one of your top three to play a really, really solid innings.
Yeah, when Gunatilaka, I mean, it was Sri Lanka was obviously celebrating because you would have got Gurbaz's wicket that time, Ajay. But if you remember on our group, I wrote that Gunatilaka ko 3 guna lagan dena padega, because that's exactly what happened. That was a really expensive miss.
Yeah, and in modern day cricket, you got to accept that it is a big miss because it's not one of those catches that way you had to jump in the air or he plucked it out of the sky. He almost had enough time to position himself, and in fact, after catching also he was actually still in that momentum. I mean, sitting here, it always looks easy, but the modern day players do practice a lot of this. So it's a mistake. It's not one of those things where you say game goes. Sometimes something goes your way, something goes against you. But this is elementary in modern day cricket. So yes, you're absolutely right. 3 गुना लगान भरा उन्होंने. कहाँ से श्रीलंका इस वक्त तो वैसे ही उनका इंटरेस्ट बहुत भरना है उस कंट्री ने, लेकिन यहाँ पे 3 गुना लगा.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see where he's gone. And it's a stark kind of comparison with all the other batters. And you see that they've obviously gone at one speed and, he's gone at just some other speed. He was just flying somewhere. In the middle, of course, Najib came out and that run out has been expensive because there was that 1-6 Ajay that he hit. I can swear that it was hanging in the air. I think it was over... Did he hit that over mid wickets? Yeah, probably around mid wicket, square leg. He hit it in that region, but it was hanging in the air for about a minute and a half.
Yeah, he was probably having a look at the Burjul Arab for a while and enjoying that view. I mean, he hit some fabulous shots. I mean, to start with, he's hit more sixes than fours today again.
Yeah.
So he hit pretty much everybody, and I think the first 3 sixes really made the big impact.
Yeah.
And
we're obviously talking about Gurbaz right now.
Gurbaz,
yeah.
And in those first 3 is what you referred to a little earlier, and the key was that he could have been out and gone, and then probably the inning would have progressed in a whole different pace. But he carried on, and and when Zazai got out, and you referred to this, I think, or Joyda referred to, the guy batting at 3, he was going to hold the innings together.
Ibrahim Zadran.
It was. So it was very clear from that stage that he's going to go for everything. But suddenly after the drinks, you could feel a little difference in his batting. Till the drinks, he was playing the way he wanted, or he was timing it beautifully. And then he probably tried too much, I think. He tried to go beyond a certain limit just because they were in a great position. But what more can you ask? I mean, a partnership of that stage in the middle of the innings, because that
Yeah.
partnership that we saw 64 balls, 93, that's almost from what, over number fifth to over number 16.
Yeah.
So middle of the innings at that pace is, I mean, at the end of the day, you can look at things, but you'd probably be happy with that.
Yeah, Joy, let's talk about just that partnership with Ibrahim Zadran and Gurbaz. Uh, Obviously, we in the pre-show, we referred to the fact that the captain, Mohammad Nami, had said that we want Ibrahim to play that role, right? He's the guy who holds one end up and lets the other batter kind of go nuts. And that's exactly like played out like a template. Like, what more can a captain ask for, right?
Yeah, I think that's the problem. The point is that they did that perfectly. I think he and Gurbaz played well. Once Gurbaz went, I think he was unsure of his role. I think Najibullah Zadran was supposed to come and hit. That didn't quite work out. Najibullah also got himself run out. More importantly, I think if you look at it, Najibullah probably didn't get as much of the strike as he should have given the circumstances.
Yeah.
If Ibrahim Zadran is your man, who's your anchor man, and the hitter Najibullah is your designated hitter, perhaps if you look at that partnership, I think Najibullah played too many. Ibrahim played too many balls at that stage without really managing to get off as strongly as he would have. And
Yeah.
look again, as Ajay was saying, he was trying hard. He was trying to hit it, perhaps that little bit too hard. Yeah, Ajay, you were saying something.
No, sorry. No, when you finish, I wanted to just bring in a question. So this Ibrahim thing we heard from the captain. I mean, it's easy to talk about when it's other teams. When we plan some things before the game, this is what can happen. There's an advantage to it, and what we saw today is a disadvantage, because if you're not losing wickets, then you suddenly look at this format of the game and say, yeah, should he have played 45 balls, Ibrahim, because that's his skill. We left out so much in the heart.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to bring this at the end as a question to everyone that yes, you need to play sport, you have to think about it, you have to plan. But when you already make these plans and give roles to people, when you are playing well on your good day, you end up losing out rather than, getting the most out of your team. Whereas you don't plan, on a bad day, yes, you look very bad. But on your good day, you get a lot more out of your team.
You've got such a good point, Ajay, because when you look at this Afghanistan score and you look at 175 and you say, yeah, okay, that's good on the face of it. But I think just to your point, Joy, what Ajay is saying, they have left runs on the table.
5 overs for 37 runs with that many batters in the hutch.
Yeah.
Just look at those last 5 overs. Actually, you go further back because they had a 13-run over. Go back 6 overs. From 14 onwards, you've scored just 43 runs in 6 overs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's literally a little over 7 for a team that's 2 down, batsmen going famously. Just look at that. That's 7.4, 37 and 5, and the over that, exactly what I said. The over before that, 15 is also gone for just that many number of runs.
Yeah.
So I think this is a huge problem. What Ajay said, that probably not playing the strategy instead of the situation. Sometimes it costs you. And again, blind chance somebody comes in halftime and sees the score and says 175, great score. But anyone who's watched this game throughout or says that the 10th over or 12th over, even the 14th over, was 175 a good enough score? No.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Because 15.3 is when Gurbaz has got out, right? It's 139 for 2 that time. Gurbaz cramping, dehydrated. He's done well. He scored 84 or 45. He's telling his team, "Bhai, maine kar liya, tum just take it. Last mile connectivity, right? Just take it to the end." And then you build the metro all the way till then. The last mile, the rickshaw gets lost and you can't find home, right? And
that's amazing.
Exactly what has happened here. I mean, last 5 overs, Ajay, you always say that 50 is a given, right? I mean, you start with 50 in the last 5 overs. Most teams do. So they've really, I think that the rest of them have kind of got, you're right, they've got a little stuck and they've left a few runs on the table. You'll be happy because it's come close to your guess, which was 171. I am unhappy because my guess was 181. But genuinely, they should have got another 15 at least, considering the position they were in, Ajay.
Joyda had a panda.
No, I just said 1 run. That's the difference between you and Ajay's prediction.
That's right. It would have been tied. It would have been tied with us. But they've left about 15 on the table.
Yeah, they have. I mean, if you want to have a perfect game, yes, they've left a few runs behind with the start and the game that started. But at the start of the innings, I think, all of us, whatever number we picked, I think even for them, they would have been pretty happy with that number. It's just that everything went so well. So then when you look at it, you feel you've left a few runs behind. And maybe, it's only at the end of the game, if the game doesn't go their way, which I doubt, then they will think about it. Otherwise, they'll look at it and say, listen, it's okay, because all 20 overs are never going to go our way. At least we had about 15, 16 overs going our way in batting, which is pretty okay.
Let's have a look at what the Sri Lanka bowlers did. And when we think about it, those 4 overs of Hatsaranga are so important, goes at less than a run a ball. Others have, of course, been expensive. As you can tell, Gurbaz was going after all of them. But the question now is, Joy, Ajay, quick word from you. Can Sri Lanka get this?
I think all yours.
Da pehle.
I think they are gettable. Against Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka is that kind of side now, the side we don't understand. So they could be 60 runs short, and they could chase it down as well with, Sri Lanka playing a brilliant knock and Kushal.
That's
so
great.
They're that kind of team. Which side of the bed they get off from the dressing room, I don't know. And, I just want to tell a story for Gunatilaka, because I know he's feeling very bad about that catch, where that probably cost his team 40 odd runs. That there's this great story about when Brian Lara scored his 501. The opposing wicketkeeper for Durham was a chap called Chris Scott, and he dropped him when he was 18, and then he turned down and he said, given my luck, he's going to get 100. Little did he know.
Give me 5. Okay, well, Sri Lanka's coming out. 176 is what they need to get. Both these teams want the win really desperately, because they both have to play India and Pakistan next. So they'll want these points if they want a chance to qualify for. It's a tough opposition indeed. All right, so we're going to check out now. We're going to see you in the Cricbuzz com box at the end of the 10th over. Quick call, Ajay, Sri Lanka or Afghanistan?
You got to go with Afghanistan, but don't count Sri Lanka out. I don't know. It's a bad feeling. Rajapaksa is back in the country. Maybe form for Rajapaksa here also comes back.
Okay, done. So we're going to sign off now, and we're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz com box. Thank you for watching Cricbuzz Live.